Okay, so today is an exciting day, very exciting day. And that's because for the first time this year in 2024, I'm in short sleeves and it's finally warm enough to take this 25-pound battery, actually probably closer to 30 or 40, I don't really know. Take this bad boy, put it back in my Surron and go out for a ride. Now, why is this exciting? How do I put it? Well, living in Denver is great. I mean, you have 4 seasons, right? However, one of the major problems of living here and you want to be outside is that you have 4 full seasons and the cold months are a lot longer than the warm ones. So when you have a nice warm day in the middle of February, you take advantage of it. But before we do anything, there's a couple of things I gotta move around first to make this happen. Now, I've had gas motorcycles, or a gas motorcycle I should say. It was a KTM 390 Duke. And I will say that having a Surron is a lot easier to, deal with in upkeep, especially through the winter season, but it's not perfect. There's a couple things you gotta maintain to make sure it stays in working order, but it is a lot better than a gas bike, so that's nice. So here we are in the garage, but this big beauty is in the way, and there she is. All right, we're gonna move this thing around front to free up some space in the garage. Here she is. Alright, so we've got it up on the stand. I know, don't judge me. This is the cardboard one that the bike came with. And the battery, tried to store it between like 20 and 80%, but we've got that charging up a little bit. Looks like right now it's at 75%, 76%. Okay. But in the meantime, we're gonna work on tensioning the chain, make sure that's all good, and put some air in the tires. Honestly, this thing might be the world's smallest tire pump. I think it's for, cyclists. It has a full-size valve head and fits in a backpack really easily, so it's nice. So now we're just checking up on the chain, making sure she's good here. Seems a bit loose. I think I might tighten it. This is an O-ringless chain, so based on how much I ride it, and honestly it's not that much on this chain, but it seems like it may have stretched a little bit just from the torque of the bike, so let's tighten that up. Too tight. Alright, so that feels pretty good on that side, and I think this side is good too. Nice. Key with these bikes is you want to make sure king nut, or the axle bolt nut, is very, very tight. I was out on a trail probably about 6 or 7 miles away from the car, and this guy came off, and who knows when, but it took a while for the axle bolt itself to kind of back out, and then eventually the whole chain just lost tension. But when it did, I was completely out of luck, trapped on this trail. Luckily I was out riding with a buddy, and he went back to the car, looked for some tools, and in the meantime some adventure bike, big bike riders, they came by and they had all sorts of tools and zip ties and everything, and we were able to rig it up, and I was able to limp all the way back like 6 miles to the car. But ever since then I carry an extra one of these nuts just to make sure. This guy right here. So with that, we'll hit the front axle real quick, make sure that's all tight, and get it set up and ready to ride. Battery is now at 87%. Connect our battery first, then hit our breaker. Should be all good. We have power. That's awesome. so awesome. Everything seems to be good to go. The chain is tightened, the axle bolts are all tightened up, the battery's charged. Surprisingly fast for what I'm used to. So it seems like we're good to go. Too fun. Man, my wheelies are very rusty though, but we'll get there, we'll get there. Okay, so we're here down at the Platte Creek Trail in Denver. Got the bike all the way down here. It's colder than I expected. I'm definitely glad I brought a jacket. My nose is just producing so much liquid, so. But great ride. I mean, I think I need to lube the chain. It was a little loud. Couldn't record too much. I need to pick up a GoPro or something like that. This thing's a bit hefty to carry around. But no, it's awesome. I mean, this thing is one of the funnest purchases I've ever made. I mean, hands down. Aside from having a boosted board back a few years ago, but man, this thing is an absolute rocket. You could probably tell if you're familiar with Surrons and Surron modifications. I did a whole power swap. It's running 12 kilowatts right now on a 60 volt, 52 amp hour battery, so it's got quite a bit more range. A couple other little modifications here and there, but man, this thing is so fun, and I'm glad that it's finally warm enough out here to get out and just explore around and take advantage of living in the city. I will say too, as non-bikeable of a city as Denver is, you know, having something that can virtually go the speed of traffic everywhere but the highway is pretty nice, because you can be on the street when you need to and respectfully get on the sidewalk when you need to as well. In addition to that, versus owning an electric skateboard, having something that can go 50-ish miles is a hell of a lot better than a boosted board, for instance, that could go a maximum of, I think with the extended battery, it was really like 10 or 12 miles, and you'd start to feel it slow down towards the end of that. Beyond that, you know, in a lot of places like Denver, and I'm sure, you know, Los Angeles and other places that have just like bigger communities of niche sort of things like this, electric skateboards and bikes and that kind of thing, you can always find groups on Facebook and whatever. This goose is freaking out over here. You can always find groups on Facebook and Instagram or wherever that do occasional meetups and ride outs and that kind of thing, which I'm always into. I think it's hard enough to just kind of meet new people, but when everyone gathers around something as specific as a Surron, I mean, late last summer I went on one ride here in Denver that had, man, like 40-ish plus, I'll pull up a picture. Yeah, it had like 40-ish Surrons all riding out, all different custom modifications, that kind of thing. And it was so fun, you know, everyone just ripping around, hitting wheelies, and just having a great time. So I highly suggest, if you do get into any kind of like a Surron or a boosted board or anything of the like, look around on Facebook and look for kind of groups that might suit your interest of just kind of casual meetups. I mean, the group I meet up with has Surrons, but also guys on the electric kind of unicycle things, one wheels. There's a couple electric drift trikes, electric skateboards that are all custom and go like 65 miles per hour. It's insane. So highly suggest that. But with that, it's getting a little colder out here. I mean, it is mid-February after all. This was a daring adventure. My hands are falling off. We got ducks? Or wait, I'm not sure exactly what that is. Geese? I don't know. Anyway, I think we're gonna start to make our way back home and get to some shelter, make something to eat. I couldn't help myself. And just like that, we made it back home. I am absolutely freezing cold. Can't feel my hands. My nose is just gushing. I regret nothing. I brought the bike inside, because why not? So, if you made it this far into the video, for one, thank you, and for two, consider following along. We plan to make more of the... I say we like I'm some fucking mega corporation. I plan to make more things kind of like this sort of vlog style, whatever this is. I really enjoy it. I want to make more of it. I'm very new at it, so any, kind of comments or... That light just turned on by itself. That's awesome. Any sort of comments or critiques are always welcome. And yeah, thanks for making it this far. It's been a good day and something that I thoroughly have enjoyed sharing with you. So until next time, I'm gonna eat this Chipotle right here, and peace.